Hello parents, I'm Jacqueline Turley. I'm an executive on the Monkey Nastics team and the Baby Nastics program director. And I'm especially passionate about inclusive education and making our children feel safe and secure and loved during any time, especially a time as we transition back to school. We want to empower you to embrace the change, but also to expect the change and educate our children about that. So I want to speak to you today about 4 goals that we need to work towards as we move back into our classrooms over the next while. Our first goal for our children as they enter back into a very different classroom structure is comfortable masks. How are we going to attain this goal? 3 stepping stones. Firstly, practice wearing your masks. Have dedicated times in your safe home environment where you practice wearing your masks for prolonged periods, not for a 5-minute time or a 10-minute time, but for a couple of hours on end. Your children are going to have to do that at school, so why not practice it as much as possible at home in the place that they really feel secure and trusted. Secondly, buying multiple masks. You may need to buy 3, 4, maybe even 5 masks before you find the correct fit for your children. And this is crucial, that they feel comfortable in their mask. Because if they are not, they're going to be touching their faces, pulling on their masks, and this is going to defeat the whole purpose of the mask. And thirdly, be patient while you practice and while you buy multiple masks. Your children need to understand that you are there to do what's best for them. And if you get frustrated and share anger and discipline them during a time like this, it's just going to make sure there's more and more fear compounded on something which we do not want. Practice wearing your masks, buy multiple masks, and act with grace and kindness. Our second goal is clean hands. We need to make sure our children truly understand the benefit of having clean hands. So firstly, wash your hands with soap, water, and for at least 20 seconds. This is really, really important that our children master this skill and practice it at home. Second stepping stone is maybe attach a rhyme or a song or something to our hand washing experience. It's easy for us to count to 20, but it's not always easy for our children. So as I said, find a song, find a rhyme, whatever works for you. Thirdly, make it the new norm in your home and be an example. Don't demand your children to wash their hands throughout the day, and you are not doing so. They are watching you during this time. They are seeing how you respond and how you behave. Be an example and wash your hands too. Goal number 3. We want our children to still have a love for school and a love for learning. Things are going to look very different at school from now on, but we want to explain to our children this is not bad, it is just different. And the why behind it is because we love them and we care for them and we want the best for them. So first stepping stone we can prepare them for is break time, school time, play time. Lots of things at their free time at school is going to look very differently. They may not be able to sit in the same places anymore. There may be areas that are cornered off. They may not be able to sit as close to their friends anymore, but we want to prepare them for this and talk to them about it. Second stepping stone, books, toys, playground equipment might all be cornered off. This is okay. If we prepare them for it, they will expect the change and not be pushed away by the change. And thirdly, we want our children to know there may not be things like extracurriculums, there may not be sport, there may not be outside extramurals coming in. And again, we need to make sure our children know that this is the new norm because it's good for them. Our fourth goal is loving others. We really want our children to be prepared, to be intentional about loving and including others during this transition. Everyone is struggling emotionally and fear is at the forefront of our emotions. But if we combat that by preparing them to love intentionally, we can really, really help everyone manage this transition. So our first stepping stone to doing that is to prepare our children that we are going to have to show love differently. We may not be able to hug anymore. We may not be able to give kisses on the cheek or whatever way they normally show love to those around them. So let's encourage new handshakes, new Bluetooth high fives, new tapping of the feet. Let's make it really fun and discover new ways to show love to our friends at school. Secondly, we really want them to use kind and helpful language to those around them, and especially their educators. Our children need to be aware that our educators are doing the absolute best during a time like this. So kind and helpful language to their teachers, to their peers, to their friends, to everyone around them should be their priority. They can even be really intentional about this time and write special letters to their teachers, buy chocolates, really go out of their way to thank their teachers. The minute we take the focus off us and we put it into loving and giving other people, fear disappears. Really important. And thirdly, we really need to explain to our children that not everyone is sick. Corona is not everywhere. So if their little friend sneezes or their little friend coughs, it is okay. It does not mean they have corona and they are sick. Instead, we should love those friends and help those friends. During a time when fear is rife, children tend to become insecure, and that breeds bullying. We do not need more bullying at a time like this. We need more love. So those are our 4 goals we want to equip you guys with today. And it is really up to us as parents to prepare our children for this new normal. So our 4 goals, reminding you, are having a comfortable mask, having clean hands, having a love for learning, and having a love for others. We can really help our children during this transition. And I just want to end off and say to you guys, we need to be aware of our children's feelings and aware of their hearts during this time. So how can we do that with our busy schedules? Gather together at night, whether it's around the table when you're having supper, or when you're doing bedtime stories, or when you're recapping homework. Gather together and speak about feelings and speak about things you can celebrate in your day. There is going to be so much fear and there is going to be negativity, but it is up to us to breathe the positivity and the love in our home. So celebrate things at night. Celebrate things that happen at school. Let's talk about things we are grateful for. And remember to speak to your children, to understand their hearts and to understand their feelings. We are so much better together.